Welcome to Hypno Life with Dr. William Deihl and Dr. Jennifer Couldry.
Hey, happy Saturday. You are listening to Hypno Life with Dr. William Deihl
and Dr. Jennifer Couldry.
And we are from Doc Hypnosis Wellness Center. You can reach us at 602-314-1907.
Or go to dochypnosis.com. You're listening to us on 1100 KFNX. The Pulse of Arizona.
Yes, the Pulse.
So this show, I'm kind of excited about this show because we both have gone through it in two different ways. And we're talking about retirement.
Ooh, and even more than that, identity transitions. And retirement, of course, is one of the biggest ones.
Yeah, that is one of the biggest ones people go through about changing their identity or being stuck in it, because a lot of people, well, I think it's our culture. I think you brought this up when we were coming up with this idea for this week's show, was everybody walks up to here, at least in the United States.
Yeah.
What do you do?
Right. What's the first thing they ask you when they meet you? You know, hi, what do you do?
Yeah, and then, all of a sudden our identity is based on what we do every day. And you shared with me, I think you said it was France, that they don't approach it that way.
Oh yeah, I believe, I'm accurate on this, that it's considered rude to ask somebody what they do, as if to imply that's all I am.
Yeah, no,
I love that.
I think that's fantastic.
We can take a page from that book, I think.
It's one of those things that, everybody gets kind of into this role, this thought of I am a project manager, I am a CEO,
Right.
I am a truck driver, no, you're not.
Yeah, there's some serious changes that you go through in your life, and you're not alone. Just to throw a little bit of data out there to you guys, because you know me, I'm all about facts, I'm all about measurable.
We're going to call her Miss Data from now
Serious.
on.
I'm all about data points and things that you can
You can
point
wear
to.
your Star Trek outfit one of these days.
I have one, believe it. I know I'm not much of a geek, but hey, it's a science officer too, of course.
Yeah, it's always science officer.
I love it. Anyway, we digress. But so, just some facts for you guys out there. 4 to 5 million people in the U.S. retire every year. Of those people, right, 20 to 30% report depression.
And they actually say up to 40% do experience it.
Yeah.
In some way or another. And that's amazing.
That's huge.
That's huge when you're going through a transition like that. It should be a time of celebration. But people are a loss of their identity. And realize when we look at, I like to broaden this out, not just for retirement, but it could be so many different things.
Right, major transitions in your life, right? We were talking about this too this morning. We were just talking about major milestones in your life and things that people kind of use as kind of measuring points of your life in general, right? There's when you graduate from high school, and then if you get a degree when you graduate from college. There's the turning point in your life when you get married, if you decide to get married.
Or
right?
have kids.
Yeah, or when you have children, exactly. And then, of course, after that, one of the biggest ones is retirement. That's huge. Just to kind of throw it out there for you guys as something to think about. If your job disappeared tomorrow, who would you be without that introduction?
And we let there be a moment of silence there,
Right.
because
Think that through.
that is actually a very powerful question, because we are not that job.
Right. That's something that you do. That's not who you are, right? You're so much more than that. There's a lot of labels in our life that we kind of take on, or titles or roles, for lack of a better way to describe it. But you're so much more than that. I often tell my niece, who I love dearly, you are a woman, you are an independent individual, and you are also a mother. You are so much more. Not that being a mom is a bad thing. It's a wonderful thing. I think it's incredible. But also know that you're beyond that, right? You're much more beyond that role that you take on.
No, of course, and and for men, I think it's harder for us to accept even going through that transition, because we're the provider, and all of a sudden, if we go through a retirement, our income is cut maybe in half, if we're lucky enough to have some type of pension or something, maybe by 1/3. And all of a sudden, we are not that provider. And the money we bring in is not our value in life.
Oh my gosh, yes, you're so much more than a paycheck.
100%. And they say retirement is one of the top 10 stressful life events in your life. And we just need to understand that we can go through this and transition in a better way. And we're going to be talking through this whole hour about how we can transition, how hypnosis and clinical sound therapy can be very helpful to help you make that transition. But we're also going to give some good ideas, good ways to helping individuals here on the show to start doing some stuff at home, to start bringing back their identity.
Definitely ways that you can kind of work through some of these transitions in a healthy way, while also giving yourself some grace. Right? It's okay to not be sure for a little bit. It's okay to feel very stressed out and anxious. Part of that is your nervous system, right? We've talked about the nervous system quite a bit in several of our sessions, but part of that is the nervous system, because your nervous system craves comfort and it craves predictability and patterns.
Yeah, the nervous system almost will go for, they'll actually go and prefer a bad identity than no identity at all. So we'll have to pop out of that. So
I think we lost that one.
Well, no, we're back. Sorry, we're actually doing several things at the same time, and I got sidetracked. But realize that all of a sudden you go through and you don't have an identity, so you start going through after retirement. A transition of trying to understand who you are, what you can be, even coming home to maybe a partner, and she's losing her identity if she's retired. Maybe she or he was stay at home, and all of a sudden what they're used to is completely changed.
Oh yeah, that too, right? Because suddenly, obviously you enjoy being with the person or you wouldn't be with them, but being with them a couple hours a day versus being with them all day is another thing entirely.
And we're talking about experience here.
It's a good experience for us, but it definitely did take a bit of transition. A key point too that it brings up, and we can talk more about this once we get through the break as well, but is that people who replace their role within 6 to 12 months have significantly better mental health outcomes. And we're not talking about just going out and getting another job, same flavor, different ice cream, right? Or same ice cream, different flavor.
Yeah, you threw me for a loop right there. I wasn't sure what you were saying, but I got it.
Yeah, basically, finding a meaningful identity anchor, right? For me, the transition has been a little bit easier, though there are some other stresses in there that we'll hit on. The transition has been easier for me because I focused all in on the business, right? So my identity as, IT project manager, senior level person, with teams reporting to me and all of that, I was able to take that energy and those goals and shift them more toward building our mental health services at Doc Hypnosis.
Yes. And for myself, we'll be going into this more in depth after the break. But for us, for myself, I was actually an executive officer. I was a president of a corporation. I went through and traveled the country doing and speaking to individuals, helping motivate them. And that transition for myself, going in and now becoming a clinician, working with people on a daily basis to help making
one-on-one, right?
Oh, it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's in the Japanese word. I think I found my ikigai. Yeah. Not that I'm an icky guy, but ikigai.
That's apologies.
So, someone had to do it, and I feel good about it.
He's very good at bad jokes. That's part of his.
It's not bad jokes. It's dad jokes.
Yes, keep them in the database.
Oh my God! I can't believe she went there. See, she is Data from Star Trek.
It's atrocious, but there you go. I'm so glad that you're joining us this morning to talk about this really important topic of identity and transition.
And you're listening to, this is Hypno Life. I'm Dr. William Deihl.
I'm Dr. Jennifer Couldry from Doc Hypnosis Wellness Center. You can reach us at 602-314-1907.
Or go to dochypnosis.com, and you're listening to us on 1100 KFNX, the Pulse of Arizona. And we're looking forward to you coming back after the break. We have some good stories as well as some good information to help you, if you're going through retirement, to make a difference in your life.
Thank you. For those of you guys online, I can
Oh
just
my
say
God.
that he is willing to like bring the conversation right up until the last finger from the
Oh
booth.
no, Eddie's he's awesome. He's actually giving me a countdown.
He's telling him you got this many seconds left, and I'm looking at him like, wrap it up.
And I'm going to, okay, I have 5 more seconds.
Like, I have 4 more
I have to
seconds.
come up with something to say.
No, he's thinking I could say more.
I can say more. I know. I want to bring people back after the break because there's some good stuff.
Oh my gosh, there's
And
more.
Let's start off after the break talking about what you went through and then what I went through, and experiences,
Yeah.
and then go from there.
And we also can hit on the financial aspect.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because that's huge.
Sorry, old bar
Well,
thing.
that's interesting here.
Which one?
We have this sheet that has some interesting facts.
We
And
love
one
interesting
of them is
facts.
like people don't just lose income; they lose a mirror because work reflects back who you are. Competent, needed, valued. Let's bring that up because that's good.
No, that's
all.
good. The other thing is I want to bring up is also we need to. It's not a psychological problem. It is a neurological pattern. And that's why you and I, what we do was make a break. But
Right.
I'll bring that
makes
at the
perfect
end.
sense.
So,
yeah, and we
of
kind
the
of
next
touched on
segment.
that briefly when we were talking about nervous system.
Yes.
But yes, I agree. Hey, and if you guys online, if you have questions, you want to call in and give them to us, that's awesome. Please feel free.
Yeah, the phone number here is 602-277-5369. Or if you need a 800 number, it's 866-536-1100.
Yeah, call in and ask your questions, or feel free to post them in the comments for us. We'll respond to them next week too. So even if we don't catch you while we're actually doing the show, we'll make sure that we respond back.
Yeah, we want to make sure. We want to make sure we answer, and especially because you guys have actually given us some suggestions, and we're using those suggestions.
I forgot about this one.
Oh my God, yeah.
And this.
Yeah.
Oh, I covered up the thing.
Oh my God, don't cover that up.
Covering up the thing. Oh man.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages.
No.
I hope our Facebook family is doing well. We can get to see the TikTok family.
Yeah,
But
can
we
see
have
it.
our 2 Facebooks up there.
Yeah.
So.
We have you pointing the other way because it just works better. The camera's better, so.
We want to make sure we look pretty. Well, we're not that pretty, but we're trying our best.
We're on the radio. It's okay. We can look however we want, but yeah. We do
1 minute
appreciate
away.
you joining us.
There we go.
There we're back. Can you start?
Sure. Welcome back to Hypno Life. This is Dr. William Deihl.
And I'm Dr. Jennifer Couldry from Doc Hypnosis Wellness Center. You can reach us at 602-314-1907.
Or just go to dochypnosis.com. You're listening to us on 1100 KFNX, the Pulse of Arizona.
The pulse of
I like stretching that out.
I like
I
it.
think it sounds good.
Yeah.
So we were talking during the break that there was several things we wanted to talk about during this segment.
Yes.
And I want you to kind of share, because you just went through a retirement. I went through kind of a retirement 5 years ago, or a transition.
Yeah, it's a transition, really. I mean, a retirement from my, I guess, official role. I mean, can you call it that?
You evolved upwards. I think that's one of the things a lot of people say, and I'm sorry to step on you, but a lot of times people go and say, I used to. That gets you stuck in the past. So let's use some NLP and say, I evolved. I've moved on.
Right.
I've leveled up.
Yeah, I like that. And
so much better.
also, right, it's completely different to say, well, I used to be a project manager at ASU, right, than to say, I have 25 years of experience as a project manager. It's completely
So
different,
much healthier.
right? Yeah, it is healthier,
It
too.
one is looking at your success, one's looking at a loss. And I had a friend, his name was Dr. Stephen Kidd Taylor, and he would take a pencil and just tap your hand gently. And he goes, he would tap the hand, and he goes, right now it's not doing anything, but if I kept on doing this for a long enough period of time, that hand will shatter. And the same thing will happen when we focus on the negative long enough and just keep on saying
That
and
makes
keep
sense.
us stuck in the past.
Yeah.
Our psyche starts to shatter. We start getting depressed. We start getting anxious. We start getting worried.
Right, and yeah, and and that's not to, of course, play down or devalue any of the experiences that people go through when they retire, because there's a great deal of there's almost grief involved in there too, right? Of like grieving your prior life, but if you don't make room for something new, then that's all you'll ever have, right?
That's so true.
And Bill Brady is so funny. He was in a thing with us. He was talking to us, I think, in the conference room a couple weeks ago, and he said he has a friend that just says, "No change, no change."
That's a great way of putting that.
He's right. He's right. And if you're not open to trying something new, then what you have is what you've got.
Yeah. Well, you wrote something up on the board that's so good.
Oh, that's one of my favorite quotes. It says, it's attributed to Anonymous. I'm not sure who the author is, so if anyone finds out, let me know, because I'll be happy to continue quoting it and give the author credit. But the quote is, "If you want something you have never done, you must be willing to do something you have never done."
I love that. And that's true. But let's go back to what I asked you earlier. You actually shared something with me about a transition. You went through a transition not too long ago, and what did you experience?
Ooh. I mean, to be honest, I've experienced the gamut of it, right? To the relief of not having the same responsibilities and pressures and stresses that I had on a daily basis, to feeling very much kind of adrift, not knowing what to do. Like, what do I do with myself? Like, up to that point, you had a routine, right? As a project manager especially, you have consistent meetings that they never end. There's meetings every day. There's status updates. There's stakeholder meetings. Just there's so much. I'm sure as a CEO you had a similar experience, right? So to go from that to then all of a sudden not having any meetings,
The loss of a routine.
it was a little bit discombobulating. I mean, I know it's kind of a big word for that, but it kind of shakes you. It rattles you a little bit. You're like, well, and they mention here in the identity pieces that we kind of hit on, like, well, who am I if I'm not that? Then what do I? Am I still valuable? Like, I went through it too financially. Like, am I still valuable to my partner if I'm not?
She's
bringing
priceless.
Thank you. That's very kind. But when you look at it, like, am I bringing in the same? Like, am I holding up my end of this bargain? Right, this partnership that we created.
And everybody goes through that.
Yeah, I empathize. I really do. But yeah, it was a bit of almost a kind of a dark night of the soul kind of thing. And for a while, I was just stressed and scared and freaked out. and then I thought, well, I mean, I'm all in on the business, right? I'm all in on helping other people navigate some of these crazy waters that we all go through. So if I can find my way through, there's probably a better chance I can help somebody else when they come see us at the office.
Well, that's one of the things. We've lived life, and we can help merge with individuals and understand the sympathy in what they're going through. Myself, it was kind of different because I was in a family organization for 36 years, and working with those individuals, I went to births, we went to weddings, the kids started working for our office, so that was my family in a lot of ways.
That had to be a huge identity shift.
And all of a sudden, because the company got sold, I was asked to, I actually chose to move on, but because of the key component, no one else was allowed to talk to me. So there was a double loss.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes,
NDA and all that?
I think sometimes people go through a loss because of the camaraderie that they were having all the time in that. So we help people reconnect and understand what's going on.
Yeah, to find your way through it, and to understand, of course, that it's completely natural.
And I love this because it's one of those things. This is what we're talking about. This loss is not a psychological disorder. It's not like depression. It is actually a neurological pattern that we've lost. So we actually help redefine that pattern. Through hypnosis, we can help you get past that pattern, settle down the nervous system, give you other options, other directions you can go to, and really redefine your identity. And with sound therapy,
yeah, with clinical sound therapy, of course, we can help reset your nervous system, right? So that you can move yourself beyond that point of fright or flight or freeze, right, into something that's just more sustainable.
I think you guys give a space for people to process.
Yeah, definitely. And it's so important to be kind to yourself during this. I think sometimes, the saying that we're our own worst critic, there's something there. It's true. We should be kinder to ourselves. If you think about how you would treat your dear friend who just told you, oh man, I lost this position, or the company reorged and now I don't know what I'm going to do. There's a lot of things that people have to shift through. There's one set of challenges to navigate when you decide to retire, and then you're facing that kind of identity shift. And there's another set of challenges that you have to navigate when that decision is kind of made for you, for lack of a better way to say it.
Well, the carpet's been pulled out from underneath your feet right then and there.
Yeah, you feel so just betrayed, and and also I think to a certain degree a bit foolish that maybe you bought into this idea and this belief that this corporation was family.
The gold watch.
Yeah, right, yeah. I mean, how much in our society do we perpetuate this myth that retirement is that moment where you will finally get the accolades that are due you, right? Where you will have the party, there'll be the cake, and, whatever, right? So how much of that is, that adds to it, I think, that identity sort of loss and just navigation.
And navigating through can be a tricky situation, but I agree with you 100% when you're talking about, when you're forced out or pushed out. When you have a planned retirement, it's great. You maybe have trips planned and everything else.
Right.
But when you are being, maybe downsized or moved out because of
quiet pressure,
a
right?
philosophy of the company has shifted, all of a sudden you're now trying to make ends meet, maybe. You maybe look at who am I without this daily grind that I used to be, and you have to identify a new pattern, a new direction, how you can actually identify with a new you. And for myself, I'm going to say this, Doc Hypnosis saved me. Even though Doc was around for almost 20 years now, I went full-time 2020. January 2020, and holy crap, that changed my life because now I had to be Doc Hypnosis. And
it wasn't just your side hustle, right? It was your entire soul.
That was my entire soul. So to a point where people used to call me Doc before then, now almost everybody I meet calls me Doc. And it's kind of fun and a little weird, but it's I love it because this is something that belongs to me.
Right, and it's something that you've built yourself, right? It wasn't something that you were kind of you have to be with someone else to have it.
That's right. This is Hypno Life. I'm Dr. William Deihl.
And I'm Dr. Jennifer Couldry from Doc Hypnosis Wellness Center. You can reach us at 602-314-1907.
Or you can go to dochypnosis.com. You're listening to us on 1100 KFNX, the Pulse of Arizona. And I look forward to seeing you after the break.
Yes. And let me just tell you guys online, one of the challenges is that there's so much that we would like to share.
Oh, the brain goes, she says something, and my mind is going like 20 different directions.
That's good, though, because
oh my God,
I think it keeps
it fresh.
Yeah, it goes to show it's a good topic. There's a lot of different pieces that we would like to hit on and information we'd like to share. So, we try to give you good statistics and data points every week, too. So it's not just, blowing smoke around. We really do want to help people through these harder times in their lives.
Where would you like to go
There's
next?
a couple
There was a
things
couple
here,
of things. Let's start.
This is interesting. I've got two here that I'd like to do. that people don't just lose their income, they
Lose
lose
their
a
mirror.
mirror.
Yeah.
That's important, because
And the
we were
brain
kind of talking about
prefers-
that. And then the brain prefers a bad identity over no identity.
I did
That's
say that, but I
interesting.
think we could
Not
go
to this
deeper.
point.
No, we need to get deeper.
I mean, you
in
might
that.
have touched on it, sorry.
Yeah, I
I wasn't
touched
being
on it.
critical.
No,
I'm just
no.
saying data, right?
Data,
Right,
watch
technically.
out. Technically, don't get technical with me, darn it.
This graph is
Formal.
not exactly, your y-axis is sus, no? Just kidding. Wow.
Once again, guys, thank you for joining us on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok and all that. If you have any questions, feel free to just put them on there. We'll address them next week when we see them, and or go back to answering them through private messaging.
Yeah. You know, I don't see any of that moving, so I don't know if TikTok's working.
Oh, TikTok's working. I just saw it. See, it just moved.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if Facebook is working. Right now, it could have exploded. I have no idea.
I'll go look for that.
No, it's good. I like the guess. The guessing feels good to me.
It's live. It's live.
It's live.
They're both
It's
live.
live.
Hooray, we're live.
And at the last segment, I think we should talk about settling your nerves. What you can do to help settle your nerves down.
Is it going?
It's going. Someone make a comment so we know we're moving on TikTok. Please.
I don't think it's going.
Oh, there it goes. Someone's up in the right-hand corner. That's it.
Okay, we'll go with that thought. It did something about a pause about how you hit your limit or something, and I'm like, what?
Oh, that's it keeps me trying to, it's not more than 15 minutes at a time.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. We'll work it out. This is interesting that routine loss impacts your mental health more than workload loss.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome.
That's fascinating.
That's
And
something we could
kinda
hit on.
We touched on that a little bit when talking about, who am I after? Like, I had all these meetings, and then I had no meetings, and I'm like, what?
Yeah, the routine, and something we need to say, hey guys, if you start replacing your routine, it can be very helpful for
Right.
mental health.
Well, and you get to build your own then. Well, at
Yes.
least to some regard. You get to build your own.
Saving Amy. Sorry, I just heard a commercial in my head, Saving Amy. I'm like, okay, thanks, Amy. Yeah, we're having, she's giving me water. Hitting the bottle. Here we go.
Wow. Not funny.
Not funny.
No.
Oh, I won't laugh anymore.
We already talked about proximity and couples struggling.
Oh, no, have we?
Yes.
Did we?
Don't be so close to me. No,
Oh my
I'm just
God.
kidding.
We touched on that one too. Being data driven, guys. Being data driven.
Stop. I'm just kidding.
It's coming up now.
All right. Hey, we're coming back. Hooray. Hey, this is Hypno Life. I'm Dr. Jennifer Couldry.
And I'm Dr. William Deihl, and you're listening to Hypno Life, and we're from Doc Hypnosis Wellness Center. You can reach us at 602-314-1907.
Or dochypnosis.com. You're listening to 1100 KFNX, the Pulse of Arizona. And
And we
sorry.
might get the giggles. That's okay.
He was laughing because, that's what happens after you've been married for a little bit. You can read your partner pretty well, and I feel bad. I might have been giving him a little bit of a side eye because he mixed a few words up. But that's how data driven I am. I have a process and I'm like, okay, that was not exactly it.
And that's one of the things we could talk about, because we really didn't go into depth as couples when they go into retirement together, or
yeah.
one of them goes into retirement and all of a sudden you're at home all through the day.
Right.
And that other person was used to having a break.
Yeah, or having free time to kind of do, anything they wanted to do. Maybe just having quiet. I mean, not that, that's a bad thing. I mean,
I'm not a quiet person, and I know that.
And I'm the kind of person that needs some, especially in the morning. So, there's things that you navigate with your partner and just kind of work through it. And
Yeah, and you start learning how to cope with everything. And then we have the privilege, and it truly is a privilege, that we actually work together.
Yeah, we work in the same office at Doc Hypnosis Wellness Center, and before I officially retired from Arizona State University, I was at the office when I could be, like on the weekends or after the regular work day. But now, of course, I can be there a lot more. So
Thank God.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I hope it's a good thing. I'm glad that you agree.
It is.
But yeah, that way we can, also help each other out, during the day. Like there are things I'm sure that he had a harder time navigating that now I can help with. Like if he's with a client and a new client comes in and I'm not with a client yet, I can greet the client. It just helps, right, to make things a little smoother.
And it also gives us a routine. There's a quote that we looked at during the break. It says, routine loss impacts mental health more than workload loss.
Oh, yes. Let's unpack that, right?
Yeah.
Routine loss, right? Routine loss impacts mental health more than workload loss.
And that's huge, because if you want to help and work with your mental loss and everything else, that's totally fine.
Okay.
It really, for me, that routine, if you want to help and get your routine back into order, what you need to do is to start creating your own routine. Just start creating what you need to do, how you want to do it, and make things happen. Get up in the morning, set a schedule for you. You need to be someplace at a certain time. That's why, some of these learning centers, libraries, there's stuff that you can do. It doesn't cost you anything, but it can be a lot of helpful to get that mental health back into balance and getting yourself out there to make that connection with individuals.
Yeah, and I've been talking to my mom too. My mom is in her 70s, and I've been just talking to her. I know that sometimes it's scary and it's hard to meet new people, especially if you're not really sure where to start, And I know that technology sometimes can be a little more just intimidating, especially if you haven't used it a lot. But she's been starting to kind of branch out some, which is good, and meet some new people. And I also have been sharing with her just, events and things like you mentioned. I think the Phoenix Art Museum, for example, has a once a month free day, I believe. So there are some things that you can find if you kind of know where to look. That you could go out and do and just have a chance to meet somebody new. They used to have this really great program. Sorry, I just thought about it.
She's on a roll. Watch out.
I'm on a roll. They had this neat program at a library where instead of checking out a book, you could check out a person, and then the person would tell you their story.
Oh, that's kind of fun.
I thought that was really cool.
That's actually a really cool idea. And it's just to get to know people, get yourself in that interaction, because once again, earlier on I said you lose that interaction if you are going to work and you're connecting with people. And it's and I think you said it earlier, it's not just the loss of income. They lose a mirror.
Yes, they lose a mirror, right? Because work reflects back at you who you are, right? You have a role, you have a place, there's usually a hierarchy. You also, like you mentioned, you have colleagues, right? You have people that you talk to around the coffee machine or, those things. And all of a sudden, when you're no longer working there, a lot of those relationships just evaporate.
Yeah, and it's one of the things I think I loved was this one that we found. Retirement isn't the end of identity. It's the first time you get to choose your identity consciously.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully, right, you're at a point where you can decide then, who am I? Am I VP of marketing? Or am I somebody who really likes, hypnotherapy? That's oddly specific, but, there's a lot more there, I think, that we tend to be, because we're so caught up in the turmoil of the change, especially if the change wasn't one that we were kind of prepping for. Even if you are prepping for it, it can kind of shift you a lot. We forget that you have more freedom in that moment than you think you do.
You do. You can choose the direction, and I just want to reiterate, up to 40% of individuals that do go through retirement actually have a level of depression they go through.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's unrecognized. Maybe you start eating. Maybe, eating a little bit more, eating too more.
Yeah.
Maybe you become a little bit more lethargic. Maybe there's some, you kind of snap at your your spouse a little bit easier than you've ever done before. And it's because unconsciously you're in that loss of that neurological pattern, not the psychological problem, but a loss of a neurological pattern to help you guide you out of this, to help you do this is some simple steps that we can do. And after the break, we'll actually give you a little thing, something you can do for about 5 minutes to kind of start resetting your system. And then if you have some more problems, you can come and see us.
Right.
Or find a good mental health practitioner out there that's
definitely.
willing to, one, listen to you.
Yes.
There's a lot
Oh
of
my
people
gosh, yes.
that do not listen. And it's one of my pet peeves is that people come in and go, oh my God, you actually heard what I said? And it's
Yeah, of
forced
course
me.
I
I'm
did.
like, I've been going to therapy for 20 years. You're the first one that made me feel like I understood you.
Yes.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, a lot of times, and I don't want to throw the entire profession, under the bus.
Oh, let's
I
do.
know,
No, just joking.
I know you're not. But there are a lot of times, at least for me, where I have gone before to ask for help from like cognitive behavioral therapy offices, and just felt like the person was checking boxes. Like, okay, do you have red hair? Okay. Do you have this?
Red
Okay.
hair is probably a big red flag for me. No, just joking.
And they're trying to make you match a diagnosis or a label rather than actually listening to you to help you get from where you are to where you'd like to be. And that's really the difference of what we try to do at Doc Hypnosis Wellness Center is we listen, like Dr. Deihl mentioned, because we are not there just for, we're not there just for a paycheck. We're there because we care, and we also know personally what it's like to be in a situation where you've laid it all on the table, everything that's going on, and the person's like, okay, well, that's all the time we have for today. Check the box, move on. We never want to treat our clients that way, and we certainly endeavor very hard not to.
Yes, and we always want to talk to individuals, find out what they're going on. And you said it earlier, they're looking and trying to check a box to find a label for you.
Yeah.
And a label is, in reality, is just a label. It's not a sentence. People come to me all the time and
Yeah.
say, well, I've been labeled with anxiety. Well, what's anxiety? I promise you, if you go out into any location, go to the mall and stop people and ask them what's anxiety, you're going to hear from every person a different description.
Yeah.
So we take the time, we want to understand what the anxiety looks like, or what does that depression look like. Where I actually had someone come in after retirement, and he was really depressed, and he has a lot of anxiety, and it was the loss of this pattern that was causing the problem. But he was taking, was it fluoxetine? Did I say that? Right?
Yeah, I think it's fluoxetine.
Fluoxetine,
It's a generic Prozac. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so let's talk about this. And we started going down that pattern and trying to understand what's going on, how he's creating it, and then we guided him out.
Yeah, and that's always something that at Doc Hypnosis too, that if you are seeing a medical professional, we are perfectly comfortable working closely with your doctor or your PCP, to assist you on whatever treatment plan you have.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's the truth of it.
And this is Hypno Life. I am Dr. William Deihl
And I'm Dr. Jennifer Couldry.
from Doc Hypnosis Wellness Center. You can reach us at 602-314-1907.
Or dochypnosis.com. You're listening to 1100 KFNX, the pulse of Arizona.
Yeah, and after the break, we're going to actually work with individuals to give a 5-minute process
Give you a
where
takeaway.
you can, a takeaway that everybody can enjoy. That's right. And I hope you can come back after the break and catch you then. I should time this. So I'm looking at the time here. So I need to time this and say, okay, this is going to take 20 seconds
Well, we just
or
need
5
to-
seconds or 15
But I mean,
seconds.
we don't need to hurry. Do you want to talk more about how this helps?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, 100%. And guys, thank you for joining us on TikTok and Facebook. Sorry, we were working things through.
Trying to strategize in between.
Taking over the world. And it's kind of fun. I think I would rather watch a radio show sometimes through these medias because we kind of see behind the scenes.
You see a little bit of what's going on.
Yeah, what's happening.
Yeah, if you've ever wondered what it's like, I mean, you're here with the microphone and the headphones is the commercials before your next thing. And then there's a gentleman in a booth here. We can just see a clear window, and there's all the technology behind it, like all his sound stuff. And he lets you know, he's like, when you have 2 minutes before you're going to come on again, right? That's when you're counting down.
He's counting us down.
Yeah. And then, I love it, you almost feel like you're about to take off, like on Top Gun, because they give you the, and go.
Yeah, you're waiting for the jets to take us off.
Yeah,
so that's kind of fun.
Highway to the danger zone. That's funny. Anyway. But yeah, it's definitely an adventure. It's fun.
It is fun.
You can talk about how your partners, the way that your partner helps you navigate whatever you're going through in life too, can make a huge difference with how you approach it.
Back in one.
That's one I want to talk about too.
What?
You heard absolutely nothing.
I heard nothing.
What?
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 Yeah, go for it. Just do it. I'll just go after it.
I was just saying how your partner helps you navigate it makes a big difference.
Sometimes not hearing anything helps too. That's wrong.
This one. That's interesting.
Which one? The brain?
The brain, first? Yeah, the brain. I don't know if we'll have time to talk about this one on the air, but it says the brain prefers a bad identity over no identity. Interesting. Which kind of ties into what I was talking about with the partner also, because if you approach it in a positive, like, we'll get through this, it'll be fine, don't worry, we got this, I've got your back, then the other person feels a little bit better about being in shaky water.
Yep. Yeah, no, it's
That's
important.
Huge.
It's totally huge, and you're going to probably hear that again. We're back.
Whee! Hey, welcome back. This is Hypno Life. I'm Dr. Jennifer Couldry.
And I'm Dr. William Deihl from Doc Hypnosis Wellness Center. You can reach us at 602-314-1907.
Or dochypnosis.com. And you're listening to 1100 KFNX, the Pulse of Arizona.
Ooh, and before the break, we were talking about, actually, during the break, you were talking about something fascinating.
Yeah, I was talking, well, okay, before we kind of took a break, we were talking about how navigating through this can be really stressful and anxious and all of those things, right? Because you're not really sure. You're on completely shaky ground. You don't really know what will happen, where to go. And I can honestly say from my own experience, having a very supportive partner during those major life transitions is huge, because you're already feeling stressed out and nervous and fearful. So if your partner meets that with, hey, we've got this, it's fine, I've got your back, we'll be okay, don't worry, all those things, that's super helpful. I also know that you in particular have been very supportive, and there have been times I know where I've been just a little short because I felt very extra pressure.
And she's 5'11", and she still gets short.
Stop. So ridiculous. But yes, but that ties into this point here that we wanted to make, that the brain prefers a bad identity over no identity. So think about that for a minute. If you don't have an identity, which one do you want to give your brain, right? Wouldn't you rather have the one of, we're safe, we'll be okay. We got this. Yeah, we got this together. Or even,
you're not in this alone.
Yeah, or even you go girl, you got this on your own, or, you go guy,
I think one of the most powerful phrases is, everything's going to be okay. Yeah. Everything's going to be all right.
Yeah, I know you say that with your clients. That's part of his hypnotic process as well, right? Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right.
I think one of the biggest things people go through is they don't feel supported.
Yes.
Don't think they can get to it, and they separate their self-worth from the income or their productivity.
Yeah, or your job title. Come on.
You're not that title. And that's what hypnosis does. Hypnosis helps separate that worth and understand you're not that income or that productivity or that title. Helps reframe your contribution beyond money. Resolves any guilt or shame, not enough. Those loops that you ruminate on.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's that pencil tapping on you.
It is, and the thing about your mind, right? Your mind is going to fill in that gap. So what would you like it to use? I'd much rather it use something inspirational of like, I'm building a new business. I'm contributing to the existing business, or I'm working on this brand new project. There's a reason that a lot of retired folks all of a sudden are rebuilding a car in their garage. I mean, hey.
Well, they go through and they're ruminating, and I'll give a simple something you can do is just literally to help rebuild your identity is just to take that negative thought and literally throw it away. If you have, if you could see my hands right now, I'm just throwing that identity away.
Physically throw it.
Physically throw it away, and then say, I'm this. And by doing that, you're actually saying to your brain, no, and going, I want to go.
Right.
So no and go.
Yeah, this
Keep
is
it
not
that
the
simple.
pattern. Yeah, this is not the pattern I want anymore. That's not where I'm going. We don't do that anymore. It's like we don't do that. We don't talk bad to ourselves, right?
Oh, no.
Like we talked about last week, you look in the mirror and you say, I see you, you're worth it. And believe it.
We're the last people that should be talking bad about ourselves. We should be uplifting ourselves all the time because, hey, we have that world out there. There's people that have that judgmental process, and you'll run across people that actually look at you and go, you do what?
Yeah.
And who cares? They're not paying your rent.
That's what I say. I joke with them all the time. I'm like, are you paying my mortgage? Then you don't get an opinion.
Are you feeding me?
Right.
And the last part is, are you sleeping with me?
Oh my gosh.
So,
I mean, that might add to it.
If you don't do any of those three, you don't have a say in my life.
Yeah, then I don't really care what you think. I mean, obviously, that's funny. But transition takes time to get to that. So why don't you talk a little bit about how hypnotherapy and clinical sound therapy can help during this process?
Well, I said it earlier. It helps separate your worth from incoming and productivity, helps reframe your contribution beyond money. It resolves guilt and shame and not being enough. And it also helps you build a new identity. That's all of hypnosis does. But clinical sound therapy does so much too.
That's going to come in directly to your nervous system, right? To help you find that state of relaxation again, just to help your body relax, to even help release pain or grief that you might have stored in your body somewhere.
Get rid of that anxiety, that fear loop.
To let that go. Quick shout out to our episode next week will be on grief and that transition in your life and how to let go in a healthy way. So just a reminder for next week, we'll be talking about grief.
No, I think that, thank you for doing that. I think that a lot of people would want to tune in on that. Also, I'd like to kind of broaden even today's out, because retirement is sometimes retirement from being a mom because the kids moved away.
Sure.
Sometimes retirement is
going through divorce.
Going through a divorce because you identified yourself as a husband or a wife.
Yeah, and there's a certain part of you, of course, that will like mourn that future state that you thought you would have with that person, and you have to be willing to let go to make room for something new.
And that's one of the things that I think clinical sound therapy and hypnosis can do together, is to give you a sense of stabilization in that rocky world that you might feel that you're in. But there's a lot of things that people kind of move on, retire from, go through transition in their lives, even coming out of high school, coming out of college. Life is so much different.
Oh, wait, can I tell you too, when I was first finishing my undergraduate degree, I can't even say how many people said to me, so what are you going to do now? What are you going to do now? I was like, can I just finish this first? Like, can I
take a breath, please? Just a breath.
Can I just be happy I made it through? You know what I mean? So I think that's a good point too, though, that it, give yourself a little bit of room to take a breath and then move toward that new thing.
yeah, if any of you have gone through a transition or anything else in life, realize that hypnosis and sound therapy could be a great avenue for you to go to make that change, to make that ability to help you uplift yourself, to stabilize yourself, to kind of direct you in a different pattern, to say, okay, this is a good way to go. This is who I am now, because I am no longer that position. I'm matter regardless of what I do.
Right.
And you do matter
Yeah.
no matter what.
And it's never too late to pick up something new. I think there was somebody who graduated from Arizona State University at like the age of 72 or something, which I think is amazing.
Oh my God,
Yeah,
that's...
she waited. She waited for all of her children, you know, to raise all of her children, for them to kind of leave the house and move on with their lives before she decided to continue with her degree. And, you know, proof in point, education, you know, traveling, you know, those things that you're finally maybe able to do, you know, book that trip, man. If you can do it, go.
No, it's for myself. That's we were talking about that at breakfast this morning. We said the only way you're going to do it is by doing it. Yeah, you know,
Get the tickets.
Get the tickets, set it out, make it happen how you can make it happen. A lot of people go, well, I need to plan this out. I need to plan that out.
Yeah.
Well, we're driving down to Tucson, and we this afternoon for a guest appearance, and all of a sudden. We're like, okay, we'll find some place to stay. We're going to do this,
we'll figure it
but
out.
we're going to do it. We're going to do it. That's what we're going to
still
do.
going, and we're excited about it. But yeah, I think you know, don't be afraid, even if it's
Commander, a
something
word.
new and it's a little shaky, right? And it's a new experience. I think our big takeaways for you are to give yourself some grace. Lean on your partner, you know, or your family and friends. I mean, they're willing to talk. You might be surprised. And you don't have to be the strong, stoic rock all the time. Like, it's okay to say, hey, I'm having a bit of a hard time navigating this. And the people that love you and support you, they'll be there for you. And we're also there for you, too, at Doc Hypnosis.
Yeah, and that's not just us saying it. We're here for you. We want to make a difference in your life at Doc Hypnosis and give you good tools to do it. If you want going through, you want a simple 5-minute technique. I know I said I'll do it on the air, but we're running out of time. So if you want to reach out to us through dochypnosis.com or give us a call at 602-314-1907, I would be more than happy to just send that over to you. No strings attached. We're here for you. You've been listening to Hypno Life. I'm Dr. William Deihl.
I'm Dr. Jennifer Couldry on 1100 KFNX, the Pulse of Arizona.
And yes, next week we are going to be talking about grief. So if you know anybody that's going through grief, we're here for you to help you navigate through this time and make a change in your life.